I have DS and Durga's Cowboy Grass. This is a brand that I've never really gotten into. I've purchased a few samples. This one, Bose Maker. I'm not sure. Maybe I smelled some other ones, but I don't know. They just weren't for me, but I thought they were good. I figured I would get around to buy some more samples, but I just never did. This is one of those brands that I've seen on discounters. The brand charges 200, 300, whatever they charge, and then I've seen the fragrances for like $75, kind of like how, Montel, Mancera, uh, a lot of brands do, Creed. I I just stay away from those brands. If you're charging that much and then you're on a discounter for $75, like I like to buy them. I like to buy fragrances from uh authorized retailers. Make sure they're new, not fakes. And I know most people don't care or whatever, so but I just feel like these brands that charge a lot of money and then they go on discounters, it shows that your brand's not worth that much. Your fragrances, if you're charging so much, and then it's $70 fragrance on a discounter. I know most brands, they don't cost that much anyway, but it's just it's bad for the image. It's like, oh, we're an expensive brand, and then here's our fragrance for $70, and people are like, oh, that's such a good deal, let me buy it. I don't like the tactic. Even that, or they're not selling. But not a big deal. But for me personally, I stay away from those brands. But this fragrance, you would think cowboy grass, vetiver grassy. I was thinking it was going to be sweet grass. A lot of grassy fragrances are like this sweet grass. Like Diptych's, how is it? How do you say it? Philosopicos or something. Sweet grass. Maybe green Irish tweed, a little bit sweet grass. There's so many of them. Maybe you have to sweeten the grass up a little bit. I don't know. I kind of tired of sweet grass, but to my surprise, this isn't sweet grass. The opening I get is very medicinal. I was thinking it smelled like paint almost, or some kind of chemical in the opening, and I just didn't like it. So I looked up the notes to see what that smell is, and it has vetiver, thyme, clary sage, and regular sage on for Granica that's listed. That makes sense. I kind of thought, okay, I'm getting clary sage and thyme with this vetiver. It does smell like that on the opening. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I get this smoky vetiver, and it's way better. The mid's better than the opening. It's just too medicinal, headache inducing on the opening. And something grassy, you would think spring, summer, grassy, but this is a smoky grass, almost hay-like. I would say this is good for the fall. It's a vetiver scent. The dry down is a vetiver. It's not overly smoky, but it's vetiver, slight hay. Yeah, the dry down's good. If you like vetiver, I would give this a try. I kind of like it. I wouldn't buy a bottle. Yeah, there's better out there in my opinion. There's better vetivers. But this one's not bad. The opening is not for me. I don't like it, but once it dries down, it's a nice vetiver. I looked up the perfumer for this. Seth something. I can't remember his name, but it looks like he's the perfumer for all of the brand's fragrances, and it looks like he was a musician from Texas. This smells like a Texas smell, hay-like vetiver. Hay just reminds me of Texas for some reason. I'm in Texas, and This reminds me of Halloween hay rides as a kid or something, or playing outside near hay. But anyway, so the owner of the brand is the perfumer, but he hasn't done fragrances for any other brands. That's always a little suspicious to me. Like Roja Dove, he is a perfumer for his brand, but he hasn't made fragrances for any other brands. It's suspicious. It's like, okay, with Roja, how old is he? At least 60, maybe 70. And he's just started making perfumes, 10 years ago, however old his brand is. I mean, I don't know. I think Roja worked for Guerlain, and maybe he ran the Guerlain fragrances on a machine or something, and it came back, and he just replicated that himself. I don't know if that's possible. If you see what's in a fragrance's composition, and then you might just use similar ingredients and replicate it yourself, but make it higher quality. I mean, maybe he did that, but same thing with this guy. This doesn't smell like, it's the best perfumer. It doesn't smell indie, but I feel like it's simple. I don't know. I feel like if you get a little bit, as far as raw ingredients go, I think this has some Texas cedar wood in it. It does smell cedar woody. It smells like it has that in that, but you don't get it too much. It's mostly vetiver. Of course, it has some vetiver. ISOE Super, is more than likely in here. So it smells like a simple composition, and the other one I smelled from the brand's like kind of woody, but I don't think this guy makes all of his fragrances. I could be wrong, but same thing with like Dacita. I don't think she makes all of her fragrances, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Who knows? But anyway, this fragrance, it's not bad. Good vetiver, slightly smoky halite. Yeah, like I said, there's Texas cedarwood. More than likely ISOE Super to give it longevity. Once the dry down, you get faint. A little like this faintness of the clary sage in there. Maybe a little bit of time. I think that gives it some character. I don't really like the thyme and the clary sage that much, but without it, you would just be stuck with, a woody vetiver. It's not amazing. There's better out there, but I don't know if anybody's tried this brand out. Is there any good ones? Let me know. I've noticed they have so many that came out in the last couple years. It seemed like every month a new one was coming out. It's just hard to keep up with, and I can't try every fragrance brand. There's some other brands that intrigue me a little bit more, but maybe I'll try some more out from this brand. These little lucky scents are good for references and to try out. They don't evaporate. But yeah, let me know if anybody's tried this or what's your favorite from the brand.